king of the game and I won't be swayed. But there's something that I need, something to push me higher. Talk show Chris Collins and HenricK, they're on fire. They're watching all the rage quitters, exposing them with pain. They keep it gaming real, that's why they get all my respect from me. Rage quit, Chris and HenricK, don't you ever stop. You're the voice of the gamers, splittering rage quitters on the spot. With your wit and laughter, you're the champions we need. Rage quit, Chris and HenricK, you're the heroes of the gaming breed. Turn around the video game mayhem. Chris Collins and HenricK, the Rat bring the chaos. Gaming news and industry talk, they got it all. Rage quitting, head banging, it's a metal brawl. Mental meltdown, gaming in flames. Chris and HenricK bringing the thunderous rage. Video games and viral content, better games, ripping through pixels, the ultimate gamer getaway. The ultimate. Game over, I'm feeling the rage. Chris Collins and HenricK on the stage, talking gaming news. Industry that can't escape, we're reviewing video games. No need to debate, they bring the heat, spitting truth non-stop with fiery words. They're ready to drop, making waves in the world of video games. Collins and HenricK, they don't play no games. From console wars to DLC scams, they expose it all, making sure no one jams. The audience fired up, ready to explode. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. You know it's a code. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. Rage quit. Rage quit. I'm losing my mind. Chris and HenricK, they're talking gaming all the time. Rage quit. Rage quit. It's a love-hate affair, but I keep coming back. Ain't nothing else to compare. Rage quit. It's a love-hate affair.
What's raging, gamers? Welcome to Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. How you doing, HenricK the Wreck?
It's a Wednesday. We're here to game.
That's right.
Not really, but talk about games.
Well,
We'll
there's a
game
lot
afterwards.
going on, especially with the nominations just being released with the Game Awards. And trust me, we will get into that later in the show. But for everybody that's joined along for the ride, whether that is Twitch, YouTube, or Meta, hey, what are you guys waiting for? We want to go ahead and show you guys our QR code. This will lead you directly to my YouTube channel, so show some love, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show.
And this is my QR code. You know the drill. Go scan that. Go to my YouTube channel. Make some comments for me so that I can leave some comments back. You know the drill.
Come on now, let's get it. And we always like to start off the show with the bang and show you guys a lot of viral content that is circulating all across the World Wide Web. So let's get it. Modern games love those seamless cutscene to gameplay moments. 1 second, you're watching the story unfold. The next, you're in control and your brain is still on autopilot. And sometimes it's a cinematic masterpiece, wouldn't you say, HenricK?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Depends on the game, but...
That's true, because other times it's chaos, right?
Yeah.
Disguised as immersion. And so, quite frankly, this meme speaks very real. I'm sure you can think of a lot of games in the moment, gamers. And then, you get those dialogue wheels. Some players use it to shape the story, build relationships, and play hero. And others test just how fast they can turn a friendly NPC into a sworn enemy with one choice. And I have a feeling that's kind of how HenricK likes to game it out in his RPG worlds.
Sometimes I introduce a little bit of chaos, yeah.
Yeah, I go in guns blazing. But I want to know from you, the gamers, and this is how I'm going to set up the question. When the wheel pops up, are you carefully crafting your legacy or unleashing a completely different person the moment you pick up a controller? Or do you instantly transform into a completely, different person when pixels are involved? I guess that's the real question. And this video is freaking hilarious. HenricK found it. Oh my God, have a laugh.
I ain't telling you shit, motherfucker. Oh, hell no. Fuck. Hold on, man. Maybe we can work something out. I don't know, like the... Wait. That's gonna leave a mark. Hold on. I promised my wife we'd have kids. I don't swing that way. Since you haven't picked anything yet, maybe we could work something out. I don't know, like, whoa. That's gonna leave a mark. Okay, man, listen. All right, we could try that one. Go ahead. Shit, wait.
Wait, that's gonna leave a mark.
I think that's like very real when you're... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was thinking about Cyberpunk 2077, like especially when the time starts to get down. You're like, wait, let me think about what I'm gonna do, because you feel like you have one way to tell the story and then it completely goes in a different direction. Have you had that same experience before, HenricK?
Oh yeah. And there's been times that I've been like, oh man, I made the bad choice. Didn't I? Okay, time to re-roll that save.
Or especially when you have to build up your perks and you're like, oh, I started this mission way too early. I would really like to know how it would go, but I don't have enough points to open up that dialogue. But we've all been there. And the comments were very active. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. I don't swing that way. I was planning on having kids, you know what I mean? What game did I just purchase? I don't know. I think a lot of gamers kind of have an idea where this guy's mindset was going. Trevor, yes, I know you are one diabolical son of a bitch. What did you say, HenricK?
Yeah, no, he would definitely be the kind of character in this situation.
Doing
the torturing.
And then let Rockstar recruit him so we can speed up the Grand Theft Auto 6 development. Yeah, that might be what it is or not. Who knows?
Maybe.
Hey, let's keep it rolling, because cheating in Rainbow Six Siege X has gotten so out of hand that top-ranked players are calling it a full-blown epidemic. The higher you climb past Emerald and beyond, the more it starts looking like a highlight reel of stuff that definitely shouldn't be happening in a competitive match. Wouldn't you agree, HenricK?
Yeah, it's kind of just par for the course at this point, honestly.
Yeah, and at the Munich Major reveal for Year 10, Season 4, game director Joshua Mills was going viral because he didn't dance around it. No sugarcoating, no vague PR phrases, just straight up honesty about the mess Siege is dealing with. But here's the question for gamers. At what point does cheating stop being a problem to fix and start becoming the thing that scares everyone away from the ranked ladder? I know I have a few buddies that I'm like, really, dude? Really? You don't want to play ranked? And this is probably why. But let's go ahead and hear his response.
Now, I'm not usually the guy who gets to talk about cheaters. Because seriously, fuck them. I can't stand cheaters, and I know you can't stand them either. Cheating has no place in this game, and honestly, it has no place in any game.
I like the enthusiasm, but at the same time, actually make some actions towards it. That actually will speak volumes more than words.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty corny. It's really corny. It's like, come on, man. It's like, yeah, let's get ready for the esports season. Let's go. And I just want to let you guys know we're in it to win it. And you cheaters, F off. That doesn't show any action. You guys still have a problem in the game. But I want to know what other people are vibing with online when it comes around this whole situation with cheaters just plaguing Rainbow Six Siege X. They say this, but not fix the anti-cheat. But at least maybe, I guess it's better than that they're addressing it, unlike, Black Ops 7, for example. Oh, wait, the irony that we're about to be covering this on pause and repeat is that they're still playing with cheaters, even though they claim that they're getting on top of this. Yeah, it's just, it seems like, in the year 2025, going into 2026, you think that we would nail this. But then again, HenricK, I'm already seeing cheaters on Arc Raiders starting to, splurge on out. It's all kinds of mess right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's kind of hard to combat, but at the same time, you can make a very large effort towards it, and I feel like some of these companies haven't been putting as much effort as they maybe should towards combating it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you want to have a 10-year plan, and then other games don't have to say this on stage for claps. They just get rid of cheaters.
Yeah. Like I said, actions speak louder. So
and they've been saying this forever. It feels like someone I know on X is already going to start gathering all the clips together and just piling on these developers and these teams. And I know they do a great job with the game, but it's like, come on, guys. You guys say the same thing every year. Why is this trending? Just because he said a naughty word at the Munich Major. And then says as they make the game free to play. Oh. So I have heard
the door to more cheating.
Yeah, I've heard that argument before, but even that kind of sounds lame, of an argument to be made. Like, they get a hall pass just because it's free to play, or they just open up the floodgates and you need to have it under a paywall. But we have a $70 game, Black Ops 7, that, guys, I don't know if the free to play is really what's starting it. But, let's keep it going. Grand Theft Auto 6 is officially 1 year away. I know. Isn't that crazy, HenricK, to think because they pushed it back unless Leap Year decides to show up early and push it back again? I mean, at this point, anything feels possible. I mean, is this game ever going to get released? I don't know. But meanwhile, former Rockstar developers have been speaking out. They held an protest in Edinburgh after more than 30 employees across multiple locations were fired at the end of October. The Independent Workers Union of Great Britain says it looks like an attempt to shut down unionizing efforts, while Rockstar and Take-Two deny that, saying that the dismissals were for gross misconduct, specifically leaking confidential info in a Discord chat, because nothing says modern workplace drama like screenshots on the wrong server. And I just gotta say, I mean, how funny. Why aren't they using Slack, HenricK? Oh, wait, Discord is kind of that go-to gaming platform.
Kind of like the gamers version of Slack.
Like what's up with
the said.
Right. And so what do they expect? I mean, unless they have their own kind of locked server, I can see why that's questionable. But here's the real question for gamers. With all this happening behind the scenes, does it change how you feel about Grand Theft Auto 6, or are you still locked in no matter what? And let's go ahead and see some of the scene that's been building up in Edinburgh.
So when I look at Rockstar now, I see two things. I see a giant international corporation, a machine that creates billions in value with overseas shareholders in an industry rife with worker exploitation, unfair practice, and unreasonable working conditions.
You know, I see this, but I also see that most likely, unfortunately, there's probably not going to be much change in the company.
Oh, I see a big change in the
being
company.
real.
I know a big change in the company. Another change in
that?
the release date. You know what I mean? When you see this, you go, really? They're going to nail that from a year from now? When literally their whole employee workforce is stepping out, banging on drums, being like, hey, bring back our employees. They didn't get in trouble for leaked confidential information. No, they're actually claiming that they were in a Discord chat talking about unionizing, and Rockstar and Take-Two found out about it, and they said, no, we do not want this happening, and they fired them. And sometimes when you have that, you know, grossly misconduct labeled on your resume, it is really, really hard for a developer to go find another job at another studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is very, very serious accusations that is coming across Rockstar and Take-Two, and I'm kind of with that one guy shouting out in the rain. You know what I mean? All they care about is the shareholders. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are creating this fantastic game are the ones taking a hit. They are the human cost. It's unfortunate. But let's go ahead and read the comments. The Khalifa cost $1.5 billion, yet Grand Theft Auto 6 cost $2 billion. And when you see that in perspective, HenricK, I mean, this meme is hilarious. What adorable little doggy. You know, never would have thought a big dust ball of, you know, cloudiness could be so adorable. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna, they could be in a massive debt. You know what I mean?
They really could. Yeah. And I mean, I know they'll make money off the game, but maybe not as much as what they want.
It's going to be
Keep
plagued in
getting delayed more and more.
microtransactions. I mean, holy cow. I mean, are we even going to have a campaign? I'm starting to feel like it's going to be the shortest campaign of all times, and we're going to be running around in their little interactive sandbox universe. But then
You
me and
mean
the
to say
boys,
that they're taking all this time just to build up the online version of the game?
I definitely think so. I really do. I think they really want to make sure that they can nail it for a 15-year run like they've been doing with Grand Theft Auto 5. But look at this meme. I mean, how hilarious is this? Me and the boys when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. But I'd like to think that our outfit of choices would be a little bit different than this. Don't you think, HenricK? I mean, I think we would be a little bit more pizzazz. You know what I mean?
You
This
just
is a
say
little
we'd be
tacky.
a little more fashionable.
Yeah, this is a little tacky. You know what I mean? I see a Bill Cosby in a sense in the middle.
On.
Yeah, right. A little Lamb of God action or something when I'm in my 80s. You know what I mean? Like my dad would say, that Banshee music that you keep listening to. Yes, Father. That Banshee music. And then, oh, I know, John Cena. That was an awesome send off for you, my man. But like, we're all feeling like we can't see it. We don't see it coming. You can't see me. It's all over. It's not looking
really
pretty.
feeling like it more and more. The more we wait, the more it feels like it's never gonna happen.
It is a very it's not looking good, fam. Not at all. But yeah, I'm curious from you, the gamers. Do you feel like it's gonna come out from a year from now? Let us know what's good. But we always love you guys for joining along for the ride every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. And this QR code will lead you directly to my YouTube channel. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
And you see this QR code? Yeah, that goes to my YouTube channel where there's tons of content. So just go watch some, leave some comments. I'm looking out for them. All right, I'll respond.
Come on now. So we got a lot of things to discuss. This is going to be such a jam-packed show. So HenricK the Wreck, are you ready to rock and roll and get things moving, baby?
Oh yeah, grab those magazines and load up those guns because we're taking shots at the yearly Call of Duty release.
That's right. Hey, I like that. Let's get it, baby.
everyone, this is Pause or Repeat. Here we figure out whether a game is really worth your time and money. Today's game is Call of Duty Black Ops 7. This is the yearly release in the Call of Duty series, so of course you can expect there to be a campaign, multiplayer, and since it's in the Black Ops sub-series, there is also a zombies mode. The campaign follows David Mason and his team in 2035, 10 years after the events of Black Ops 2. They're investigating the shady dealings of the Guild, and a subsequent return of Raul Menendez. Their job? Stop any nefarious plans intending to throw the world into disorder once again. But now the question still stands. Pause or repeat.
The yearly release. Does it not make your eyes just roll a little bit whenever you hear that it's coming out? Like, okay, here we go again. Did you learn any mistakes from last year? Let's find out. What do you think, Chris?
Well, when you do play Black Ops 7, it definitely does feel like a very rushed project, I would say. I mean, yeah, Treyarch and Raven Software boldly explore a future where the world is collapsing, trust is gone, and the only thing more unstable than global politics, HenricK, is the player base, okay? I mean, this time they ditched solo campaigns entirely. I mean, that was a very big shocker for me because apparently, I guess, playing alone in 2035 is as outdated as split-screen couches. You know what I mean? Are they predicting the future?
And I wouldn't be so pressed about that if, it was an option maybe to play co-op and not forced onto me. And the reason why it's a problem that it was forced onto me is if I want to play alone, I won't have any NPC squad mates with me like I normally do in previous games. I'm just alone, even though I'm getting comms from my squad mates in the story. Like, it doesn't make any sense, and it makes it more annoying, actually, sometimes in certain parts where you're really intended to have another person, at least one more person. And I had this problem, Chris, while playing the game in the forced co-op mode, where in more than half of the missions, people left. People left halfway through or at the start of the mission. So I ended up doing the mission either with just one other person or by myself.
Well, sometimes duty calls in real life, right? I mean, I'm with you. I mean, playing alone feels like trying to do karaoke with nobody else singing. I mean, that's always like a really cringy experience. I mean, yeah, you can do it, but you'll question every life choice that got you there. But yeah, they try to set it up as like, Black Ops 7 is tossing you into a world on the brink. Yeah, there's that psychological warfare that they fully lean into. I don't know what the hell this was. Was this like Batman was going to make an appearance? They throw some cloud of smoke.
You're thinking like Scarecrow's
exactly. I mean, didn't it feel like they stole that plot? It was like, guys, I think we should come up with something really a little bit different.
And honestly, that lends to it not really having the right tone for the campaign, because not only did they do a thing kind of like Rise of Skywalker, the last in the Disney trilogy of Star Wars, where they're just like, somehow this villain just came back. Somehow Menendez came back. They don't really explain until maybe a couple missions in. I won't spoil it for those who haven't played the campaign, but it's silly. And aside from that, just, the tone of the story makes the villains seem like Saturday cartoon villains, which is not a good thing. Because every time I'm facing these bosses, I just feel like, I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are because you didn't make me care who you are.
Yeah.
And now I'm just not having a good time because I'm not enjoying the experience of playing the campaign.
Yeah, they pretty much try to set it up as like this collapsing governments, and then you're David Mason leading a squad through Avalon, and I'm with you, HenricK. And part of me was wondering, like, is removing the pause button the most diabolical thing Call of Duty has ever done in the co-op campaign? Because the experience felt less like a story mode and more of like a Warzone multiplayer experience through like a fan mod. You know what I mean? Like, it was very odd.
Funny you bring that up, considering that when you finish the campaign, it goes into an extraction shooter multiplayer mode.
Right. That's why I was like very confused, and that's why we made this joke like numerous times leading into Black Ops 7. But it's like knowing that they're going to be entering the space of the cinematic universe. After this release, it's like, what movie do you really want them to focus on? The one that's the latest, or something that's a little bit retro. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
The old school modern warfare. But you know what's wild,
And honestly,
gamers?
if they can't
Yeah.
write a good story based on this, then I don't have good hopes for the story in the movie.
But you know what's also insane, and I was shocked that this was a real statistic. Activision knows that people don't finish Call of Duty stories. So I think they did that on purpose to lend into this new extraction. Because get this, HenricK, I don't know if you know this. Only 5% of PlayStation players finished Black Ops 6's campaign last year. So that's lower than the odds of finding a teammate with a working mic who isn't clipping their audio. You know what I mean, HenricK? Like, that's insane.
I'd like to see the stats, maybe a year from now on how many people finish this one. If it's only 5% for last year,
Yeah,
campaign was better than this one.
right.
We'll see
And,
how the stats turn out this year.
and to be fair to Black Ops 7, I think the moment your boots hit the ground, it feels great. I mean, the shooting, the sliding, and now the wall jumping, I think is a lot of fun. I mean, but the weapons, though, I don't know if you felt this way, but it weirdly all kind of feels the same. It's the same thing I felt like with Arc Raiders. It was like, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just kind of picking up a gun. I'm just kind of flowing with it. Like, I didn't find myself switching guns as I started progressing, in the leveling up. It was kind of reminded me of when you go to a liquor store and you try on these sunglasses and you're kind of just like, yeah, there's a lot of options, but nothing that made me kind of just jump out and go, yeah, that's the one. Your boy looking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like playing through the campaign, a lot of the enemies are bullet sponges, so you end up having to change out your weapon every now and then. But in the multiplayer, like most guns will kill people in a few shots, so
Yeah.
any gun's gonna feel pretty similar to each other. Just with slight variations in rounds per minute and reload speed, that sort of thing.
Well, it seems like even the snipers too are
but-
super OP. You can hit someone in the leg
Yeah.
and they're already getting knocked out. It's like, and I get that. It's like in real life, duh. But I don't know.
Right.
Every Call of Duty game, it never felt like that.
But
unless
you
you
really
jumped into
think that Call
hardcore
of Duty
mode.
games are like super realistic?
That's
Not
true.
really. If you're
Well,
looking
Black
for
Ops 7 is
realism,
definitely not trying to go that route.
Well, exactly. And if you're looking for realism, you go to a game like Battlefield.
Yeah, fair
Typically, at
enough.
least.
And obviously Black Ops 7 heavily leans on the multiplayer action. I mean, that's clearly the draw for this game. And the maps are kind of like a mystery kind of grab bag in a sense. I mean, yeah, you're either going to get a banger or you're going to get something that feels like a rejected Warzone concept area. That's kind of how I felt. But HenricK, did you also feel like the new maps were designed by like 5 different teams who never met each other, or was that just me?
Yeah, Call of Duty map design's not really been the best in the last several years at this point. Honestly, it feels like the maps everyone really likes are the maps that were either made by mistake, like Shipment, or the maps that have become a staple at this point. Things that are in multiple iterations of the game. But any new maps that come around, it's like always hated for whatever reason. And it could be maybe the spawn points suck. And they are sometimes a problem.
Spawns still do suck. And that is the biggest problem with Call of Duty. It's like you would think by now they would have figured it out. No, they really haven't. But yeah, the maps, the guild is busy, I gotta say. I mean, yeah, they're going off of that. There's maps like Blackheart that throws you onto a drilling platform where they're mining resources like they're trying to build a second Death Star, I suppose. You got Cortex that hangs off the side of a cliff because nothing says cutting edge science like a workplace conditions that OSHA would faint over, right? I mean, these are the kind of environment that the future wants you to believe. Was there another map that kind of stuck out to you? I know a lot of people are saying Hijacked, and that's kind of sad. It's like, really, that's an old map. Like, really, that's the highlight? Like, that's the go-to?
That's what I was saying. Like, people like the maps that they know already, and like introducing new ones, they usually don't like them. I do like Hijack. Hijack is a good map.
Yeah, that's cool, but like I just get so sick of that shit. I mean, that's why it's like, where it was trending, a week ago, where they're like, wow, AI assets are really heavily involved in this game. And it's like, yeah, no shit, they keep using their old assets all the time. No wonder they would start leaning on AI assets. And Yeah, you're going to get some other cool places like Exposures, their training facility. It's pretty wide open and perfect for like sprinting and flanking and, being shot by someone who's just definitely camping. or, or the Forge. That one's kind of interesting too. You're going to get like a research HQ that kind of gives you a glimpse of what I would imagine is the future where, those GPU clusters for AI create every bad idea for weapon upgrades. So good job, Call of Duty. You really nailed it on that one. But let's go into the zombies mode because shockingly, I think that's the MVP here. It's round-based again, old school, and for the first time, you can actually pause and come back later, HenricK. I mean, isn't that incredible? I mean, that is like something that gamers have been demanding for so long.
They took it out of one mode and they added it to another for you.
Exactly. I know, right? How crazy is that? The campaign does not. I mean, I cannot stress enough, HenricK, how insane that is. Like, I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, the undead have more compassion for your bladder, HenricK, than the campaign does. Okay? Like, how does that make any sense? Or does it? Yeah, it does. Sometimes those zombie matches, whoo-wee.
They'll go for a very, very long time if you
It's
really
like a zombie.
are good at that.
It will eat up you alive. It'll eat up your time.
Yep.
But if you got the Game Pass, HenricK, and you jump in with friends, you'd probably have a blast. But if you're thinking about buying Black Ops 7 outright, I mean, how you vibing with it? Because is this like an outright repeat, or is this just a pause? Just move on and play something.
Oh no, this Chris, this is a pause, 100%. Like, I didn't even buy it outright. I played it on Game Pass, and I still want my money back.
I know, even the
And
co-op
I even
campaign.
told my friends, because they had bought Black Ops 6 as well last year, and they didn't really like it after a couple months. I was like, guys, we're not buying it outright this year. We're just playing on Game Pass. If we're playing it, that's it. We're not buying it.
Yeah, I know that.
And I think I made the good call.
Yeah, I know there's going to be the legacy fan base that is still going to jump in, and I know that the community is going to be very, very massive, and, Black Ops 7 could potentially promise really good things in the future. But for like now, I'm with you. I think it's a pause. I mean, I don't even think, like the jokes have been kind of already starting with some of the memes going around, going like the co-op campaign, that alone, does that warrant the price of a Game Pass? No. Is single player campaign gone forever when it comes to the Call of Duty franchise? We'll see. But hey, we want to know from you, the gamers, is Call of Duty Black Ops 7 a repeat for endless fun or a pause to play something new? Let us know what's good. But hey, stick around on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show because HenricK the Wreck and your boy Chris Collins have so much more here left to discuss. So you ready to rock and roll, HenricK?
Oh yeah, let's get the ball rolling and start talking about some more games.
Yeah, let's get it. What's good, listeners? Welcome to Patch Notes, where my co-host HenricK the Wreck and I discuss gaming news, industry talk, and so much more. Let's get it. The Game Awards 2025 nominees are officially out as we march toward December 11th. The night where we all pretend we're here for the awards, but we're really just kind of refreshing X, waiting for a surprise trailer that leaks like 3 hours early anyway, right? I mean, that always happens. And this year's ballot, it's stacked. What did you say, HenricK?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of great games that came out this year, and honestly, a lot of them got actual recognition in the awards here. So, in the nominees.
And some might be questionable, but we're going to break that down. And of course, we've got world premieres, performances, and, those awkward, celebrity cameos who clearly haven't touched a controller since like the PS2 era, and everything you could ask for, right? I mean, yes, there are 27 awards in total, decided by the voting jury at 90% and us gamers with 10%. So barely enough for us to feel involved, but just enough for the jury to say, see, you participated. Good job,
Here's your
HenricK.
participation award.
Exactly. And speaking of domination, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 didn't just show up. This game walked in like it owned the place with 12 nominations, the most in game awards history. Meanwhile, PlayStation dropped Death Stranding 2 on the beach and Ghost of Yotei into the mix with 8 each, and Hades 2 showed up with 6, still swinging like the kid who didn't study but somehow aces the test. And Sony leads all the publishers with 19 nominations. Kepler's right behind with 13, and Microsoft and EA are tied with 10, which honestly feels like the most polite rivalry they've ever had, right? And so let's go ahead and break it down. Let's go ahead and have some fun. We're going to break it down with category by category. We're not going to do all 27. We're going to do at least 9 that we feel like are going to be having all laser eye focused on. So let's get it going. Best narrative are Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. And so when you look at this list, HenricK, does anything out of these games stand out to you?
Well, they're all very great games. I think the only one on here that I didn't play this year was probably Death Stranding 2. And even then, I've heard great things about it, about the story. It's much better than the first. But if there's one that really stands out, I got to give it to Expedition 33. That game just had a chokehold on me when it came out, and many others.
I'm with you. I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's that kind of storytelling that hits you so hard you briefly forget that you have real life and work the next day. Mm-hmm. You're going to be so glued to the screen. It's one of the more fun RPGs that bring that kind of like real-time mechanics that we covered in our pause and repeat segment earlier in the year. And I think we were pretty adamant about actually, we won't jump. We're going to stick with best narrative, but we're pretty adamant that we love Claire Obscure. And so, we're both on the same page when it comes to best narrative. Expedition 33, I think, is going to take that award. But let's keep it moving. Best performance are Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, who apparently hasn't even played Expedition 33 still, Erica Ishii, hopefully I pronounced her name right, Jennifer English, Kanatsu Kato, and Troy Baker. And so what's really interesting about this list, as you can see on screen, there's at least 3 stars in the same game. Wow. Yeah. Expedition 33. And so do you feel like that's fair? Do you feel like you'd like to see the Game Awards only highlight one talent, or do you think this warrants having all 3 in the mix?
When I saw this, I was like, wow, 3 from Expedition 33. Like, I really like the game, but at the same time, give some showcase to other games. Like, they're all fantastic in the game. And, if I were to choose one, I'd probably say Jennifer English does the best.
Wow, we were both thinking the same. We're thinking the same thing. Why are we agreeing? I was gonna say. I mean,
we gotta fight.
You were stealing the words directly out of my mouth. Yeah, I feel like she gave the best performance that was so good that it's box office worthy, and there's a reason why they are pursuing Expedition 33 to potentially show up as a television show or a movie. So that's really groundbreaking to see, and very excited for the studio because it is, one of their debut games, and so very, very jazzy. But let's keep it moving because I know this one really got a lot of people rattled up. Best adaptation are a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, The Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. And do you feel like there's something here that's that actually captured the game and the best, I would say, HenricK? And then which one made you yell like, that's not how I remember playing it?
Well, I think the one that's the most accurate, perhaps you could say, is probably
Until Dawn.
Game, I mean,
no, I'm just kidding. How the hell did Until Dawn get on this list?
Wow. I was going to say The Last of Us Season 2 for that, for the most accurate to the game. The one that I enjoyed the most, actually, surprisingly enough, was a Minecraft movie. I watched it on the plane, and I had a blast just laughing at how silly it is. I'm surprised that I didn't like Devil May Cry as much, but I think it's because they didn't really do the series justice.
I think it's actually very interesting that you just said that you thought The Last of Us Season 2 was the most accurate towards the game, because remember, like, we never, like, that was the big draw of criticism to introduce, like, why, they went after him with the, that golf club early in the game. You didn't find out about that in the video game until, like, at the end of Act 2, and they just let you know, like, this is why she despises him so much. Pedro Pascal's
That's true,
character.
But at the same time, Chris, when you compare it to Until Dawn, like, that's not.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, it's a really bad one. I know something that I'm very surprised didn't make the list, and I would have removed Until Dawn. I would have actually put Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yes. Now that was an
surprised.
amazing adaptation.
Yeah, I was a bit
that
surprised.
one I really enjoyed.
But if I did look at this list, I would say I think it's going to be a Minecraft movie. I think it captured the audience from all ages, in a sense. It had a really very corny. It's a very corny movie.
Yeah.
Especially when you're an adult. It's a
it's leaning into it.
one view a year kind of thing. But I'm sure the kids are like, chicken jockey, but yeah, there's your best adaptation. But let's keep it moving, because best sports and racing games are EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World, Rematch, and Sonic Racing Cross World. So HenricK, who's, out of these games, like, which one do you feel is leading the charge in this rat race and going to take home, the jewels, baby?
For once, there's not like a Forza game or something in here for the racing side. And I think as a result of that, everyone basically looked at probably Mario Kart World on this list. But I'm going to say actually Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is the one that I prefer.
Well, why? Really?
Well,
okay, go for
Sonic
it.
racing games have been usually pretty good, and this one's just even better than the previous ones. Mario Kart World, I think a lot of clips will show you that they didn't change a ton, and then the things they did change kind of frustrate some people. So.
Well, they did bring the open world experience. They did bring, Tony Hawk's, skateboarding grinding into the mix. It was like the biggest draw to get gamers to buy the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know if that leans into the reason why to vote for it, but I feel like this captivated the online experience for the Switch 2 users and made people out of all these games feel like I'm missing out. I got to play this game like ASAP. None of these games that I see on here, other than maybe Rematch, had like a tiny window where it was like, oh, that game is pretty freaking dope, because, you're getting that kind of Rocket League kind of esque and, feeling like you're on like Ronaldo on roids or some shit. I don't know. But like, yeah, when I look at this, I got to go Mario Kart World. But this is the first one we're actually disagreeing with. But then again, what are you vibing with, the gamers? Let us know in the chat, man. But we're going to keep this moving because we got more here. Best fighting games are 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtua Fighter 5 REVO World Stage. And so, HenricK, I'll let you lean off with this, because I'm wondering who's throwing the knockout punch this year.
2XKO is interesting because it's by Riot. I'd say that might be the top one out of here that I think is a standout. But it's really funny that there's a fighting collection on here from Capcom, because, man, that collection is a really good deal.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I mean, and it just, when you see, like, even Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, you're like, really? Like, I feel like they could have mixed in, like, other games, that probably should have deserved a little bit more highlighting. We'll just kind of leave it from there. But this is a tough one for me. I was kind of digging the new reemergence of the Fatal Fury series kind of coming back. So City of Wolves, I would like to see kind of shine in this this charge. But this is going to be a tough competition. I mean, everybody's like in that WWE kind of like cage. You know what I mean? Who's going to get thrown out and who's going to be left on top? I really don't know. But this is a tough battle, fam.
Yeah.
But let's jump into best family games are Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, which I was kind of surprised that thing just barely came out, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction. So what are you vibing with, HenricK, when it comes to a game that, makes you feel like, this is very family friendly and we're all playing together?
I haven't played it, but I've heard amazing things about Donkey Kong Bonanza. But if I'm going to go with something I have played, I would say Split Fiction, though I kind of have a feeling that once I do get around to playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's going to probably be the taker for this category over Split Fiction.
I think I'm a little
have that
confused
feeling.
with the ratio of these kind of games, because now I'm kind of questioning what does best family games actually mean for the Game Awards. Because when I look at Donkey Kong Bonanza, I'm like, are you actually playing along with your family? That's a single player
Yeah,
experience.
it's probably more something
s-
that's like family friendly, not necessarily play with.
okay? But
Yeah.
Split Fiction is perfect for all ages. I don't
Well, yeah,
really
I'd
see
say
that.
you could play with your family, not really feel awkward or feel like,
I think
yeah,
it'd
sorry,
be
Grandma, I just beheaded this person.
Oh,
Play
HenricK,
an Elden Ring.
I think it'd be very, very infuriating to try to play with a young kid, like 12 and under, to try to play this game. We got lucky to play with Crash Bandicoot growing up, where the camera was kind of fixated. They don't even know how to work the joysticks no more, man. They don't even know the concept of how to control a camera in video games. So, I don't know. That's why I kind of questioned it. But when I look at this list, I think it's going to be Mario Kart World. I really do. I think they're going to pull this thing
Okay.
off, but we're going to have to see what's good. And then we also have best multiplayer games, which is Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. Any of these stand out to you, HenricK, where you're like, dude, I am totally dropping in? And how quickly are you going to be blaming the lag for it?
It just is maybe recency bias because it hasn't been too long that it's been out, but I do really like Battlefield 6. I think it's a really good entry in the series, a good choice for people who are looking to come back to the series after maybe losing some faith in it from the last entry. And yeah, they just did a really fantastic job of making a very solid Battlefield experience in Battlefield 6.
I'm with you. I mean, I was talking about it even at the beginning of the year. I'm like, I don't understand all the hate towards the Battlefield franchise. It's like, yeah, they did a really bad job launching 2042, but with 6, I really think they have definitely won back, the gamer base. But I got to go with Arc Raiders. I just think it's something new and different. I love that whole proximity chat feature. I feel like this is something like in the moment of our time, where it's like if you weren't there when it was at its highest, then you are definitely going to experience while it's at its lowest. And so that's why I feel like this game really shines out of all of these games. I know Peak was really, really cool, but that was really for the streamers, the content creators. That really gave us a lot of those very
one of those
funny
kind of games.
Yeah, viral moments. And then Split Fiction is fantastic too. Don't really, multiplayer, you join along together for the ride. They could easily take it Split Fiction. I really, really do. Because at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh my God, that's my game of the year, until another game showed up. But yeah, I'm going to go with Arc Raiders on that one. And then we got best debut indie games, and that is Blueprints, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Despolette, Dispatch, and Megabonk, which, breaking news, Megabonks actually is pulling out from the best debut indie, because come to find out, the solo developer is actually a veteran, and I guess he's going to be telling his side of the story later on. I guess the Game Awards are handling it in a private matter and want him to discuss it on his own. But HenricK, take out Megabonk. Which newcomer impressed you the most?
And it just doesn't feel fair that Expedition 33 is in here, but that has to be the choice out of all of these. I'm sorry, but it has to be.
It's pretty self-explanatory, and then that's where I'm with you. I think it's going to be Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and then finally, let's go ahead and show up the last of the category, Game of the Year. And I'm kind of wondering, gamers, when you look at Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I wonder if you can figure out by now what Chris Collins and HenricK the Wreck are thinking for Game of the Year. So you might as well say it, HenricK. I mean, what is the game that you are willing That's the game you're willing to
33.
bet your save files on?
Yes. Yes. Like
Yeah.
that game. Okay, all of these games, fantastic games. Can't go wrong with choosing any of them to have a good night or a day, whatever you want to do.
Right.
But Expedition 33, that is a generational game.
Yeah.
Not to say none of these else are also generational games, but that is like, there's a reason Expedition 33 is in my top 5.
Yeah, I think it's one of those kind of games where it's like, yeah, Black Friday's coming around. If the game drops a physical copy and it's on sale, go ahead and buy it and never open it. 25 years from now, that thing is going to be like a relic. That's going to be like, you're going to be so happy Chris Collins helped you out and said, I'm so glad I didn't open the wrapping for this. But here's the real question for gamers out there. If you were in charge of the Game Awards, would the results change, or would we all still be arguing in the comments section anyways? Let us know what's good. And I know we were rattling off for quite a while for the Game Awards, and this is going to be a little bit longer of a show for Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show because, again, it is award season after all. Right, HenricK?
Yeah.
And so, take us to a galaxy light years away from a development update.
Well, does Star Citizen ring a bell? I know it does for a lot of you. And, maybe not for the best reasons, because this game was announced in 2012, entered alpha in 2017, and has been parked there ever since, like a spaceship waiting for clearance that never comes. It's just one of those games. It has that reputation. It's going to always be in beta. It's never going to come out. It's vaporware. And now, it's about to hit $900 million in funding. Yeah, I said that right. $900 million.
Who's
That's
throwing
almost
money
$1
at
billion.
this? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, really. Like, that is an astronomical amount of money for a game that still feels more mythical than playable.
For real,
It's
right?
kind of like if Bigfoot launched a Kickstarter.
Would you be throwing money at Bigfoot
who would
that
pay
you've
for that?
never seen?
I want to know who would
Right?
pay for that. Bigfoot's going to launch his Kickstarter. Just watch.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it, okay, HenricK?
Well, they flew past the 800 million earlier this year, and gamers are still throwing cash at it like it grants wishes. At this point, I don't know if we're back in a video game or buying stock in this game, and not even the
Yeah,
game,
for real.
just an idea of
Yeah,
the game.
is this like a money laundering scheme happening? Like, since
Yeah, when you
2012?
see
What
something
the
like
hell's
this, it
going
makes
on?
you think it is a money laundering scheme. But gamers, are we supporting a dream from these developers? Or are we just hoping to play Star Citizen before our grandchildren ask, wait, what's a PC?
Yeah, for real, right? It's well, what you're playing is a PC 2.0.
Yeah.
All jokes aside. Hey, but let's dive right on into the comments because the first one reads, if you were 6 years old and just learned to read, the first thing you read was Star Citizen announcement. You are now an adult. That is, yeah, pretty wild to think
That is
that's
crazy to think of that is the thing that actually can be happening out there.
Wow. Yeah, it's like Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar, you know what I mean? He thought, light years away, and it's just time is just speeding up so much faster. Maybe that's how Star Citizen is thinking. They're the Matthew McConaughey. They're like, it's okay, we got time. And it's like, no, we're losing time very, very fast. They'd probably make less money if they actually took something and declared it a release version. As it is now, people could just brush off any glaring flaws with it as like, an early access or it's alpha and etc. With the follow-up comment that reads, at this point, it's basically a live service game that uses the fact that it's quote-unquote unfinished as aspirational gimmick to keep people playing and as a shield against criticism. You think that's
a good
the
point.
ploy?
It is possible. I know Fortnite was in beta for a very long time, and they probably were thinking a similar thing in that respect. Hey guys, don't worry, it's in beta. It's not a finished product. We'll
That's
fix
why I never
the things
liked.
you were complaining about.
That's why I never liked like early access games. I just hate it because it's just an excuse for them to just, for some people, not all of them. Some people do a good one, like Scheduled One, like that was like a game that people still loved and ride with during that whole early game access point. But it's like, has anybody ever heard an update about the full game release anytime soon? We're going to find out in the next 12 years. We're going to find out. This game will be finished when humanity achieves intergalactic travel and the game is no longer fiction. Well, I heard
maybe.
Khloe Kardashian believes that the moon landing's not real. So when she believes that the moon landing is real, is that when the game gets released?
Maybe someone's got to take
Maybe.
that call.
I
Hey,
mean,
Chloe, you got to
uh,
change your thoughts on this thing.
oh, girl. I mean, that whole family. And they wonder why Kim Kardashian can't pass the bar exam. And then it's wild back when this game was first announced. I was so excited, so pledged for Squadron 42 while my son was a little boy. Present. My son is a full-grown adult, and I'm in my middle ages. I stopped giving them money many years ago after it became apparent Chris Roberts will drag on development of Squadron 42 way past my son giving me a grandchild, which is kind of crazy because Squadron 42 is set to be released next year. And I know some of the frustration from gamers are like, okay, we get it. You're launching a standalone single-player spin-off campaign that's supposed to be in the universe of Star Citizen, but guys, the team, please focus on finishing the actual game that we all threw our money into first.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Looney Tunes at this point. And then probably still runs like hot garbage while using 25 gigabytes of system RAM. And then you joke, but it's actually using 14 to 20 gigabytes of my 32 gigabyte of system RAM for me when I play it, laughing my ass off. So, like, it's just, I'm not looking too
Yeah,
good.
optimization is not their focus right now.
No, not anytime soon. And then I can't wait for the memes when Squadron 42 releases before Grand Theft Auto 6. We'll probably see Half-Life 3 before either.
Hey, well, there are rumors that Half-Life 3 is going to come out with the release of the Steam machine. So that might
with Jeff
actually
Knightley.
happen.
Well, because, Jeff, the leader in charge for the Game Awards, has one game on his wish list, and you can't see it. So that's why people feel like, very ironic, Steam, Valve, Half-Life 3, are they packaging something? We'll have to soon find out. But, HenricK, are we funding a game or a long-term cosmic experiment? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it really feels like vaporware. I know there is a version of the game that is playable, but I remember, hanging out with some friends over the lockdown period of the pandemic, and one of them's like, I'm going to play some Star Citizen right now. I'm like, okay, check it out. I'm like, okay, this seems pretty cool. But then I look into it, I'm like, yeah, I didn't realize there was a version of the game that was playable, but at the same time, do I really want to invest just to play a game that may never come out in the next 10 years?
There's so many video
Not
games
really.
out there. You know what I mean? It's why would I?
That are finished.
When it's
that.
done,
Maybe some
I'll
of them are not
visit it.
finished, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just odd. It's like a floating satellite that's broken. You know what I mean? And it's like, will we ever see it land back on Earth so we can finally, I don't know. You can't do CPR on mechanical wear, but we got to try to bring back the livelihood of this thing. I mean, what the hell's going on? But, like, just to kind of put it in comparison how crazy this development cost is getting, I'm looking at my notes here, HenricK. The Last of Us Part 2 cost $220 million. Cyberpunk 2077 cost $441.9 million. What about Black Ops Cold War, the most expensive Call of Duty to date? That cost $750 million. So when you hear that, and then you look at a game that's been in a 10-year development cycle, more than that, that is
and
ooh,
it's not even out yet.
not even
Completely.
out. Crazy. So tell me, gamers,
Yeah.
are we funding a game or are we just funding a lifestyle? And more importantly, do you honestly think you'll play Star Citizen before your GPU becomes retro? Let us know what's good. But let's keep things moving because by now, every gamer knows the heartbreak of walking into GameStop with a stack of pristine AAA games, maybe even a whole console. I'm sorry to my older brother, Casey. Yes, HenricK, I have to admit, I traded in a GameCube for a Call of Duty game.
Oh,
Take a moment of silence.
killing me.
I know my older brother's watching. He's like hating me right now. But thinking you finally struck gold, only for the store clerk to look you dead in the eyes and offer enough store credit to almost buy the hottest game out that week. But by now, GameStop wants to flip the script with something wild. Trade Anything Day. So on December 6th, only a one-day event, you can bring anything to a GameStop. Well, maybe not quite everything, but they're literally saying anything, and they will swap it for store credit as long as it fits in a 20 by 20 by 20 box. And of course, employees can reject whatever they want, which means the real mini game here is, will they judge me for this? Before we jump into what gamers are saying online, is this GameStop reinventing itself, or are we just participating in the world's funniest real-life inventory challenge? Let's go ahead and dive right on into the comments. So the first one reads, my girl kicking me out of the house after trading in her Nespresso for $5 store credit. Could you imagine how many people are going to be going into GameStop? I mean, that's probably going to be a legit thing for some people. They're going to be stealing from others. And then they're going to be like, well, where the hell did all my stuff go? And they're like, babe, everything worked out. I got to play
worry about it.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And I got Split Fiction.
You
we
said
can
not
share
to open
together.
it, though. You said not to open it.
That's true. Okay, let's switch games. Split Fiction. Split Fiction. But I didn't have enough store credit to get a controller, so hopefully you have more Nespresso. No? Okay. And then me grabbing all the rocks from the parking lot and getting $9,000 in store credit, and Luigi
Infinite
Mangione.
Money glitch, guys.
Yeah, what is this, like Animal Crossing universe? Like, is that what's going on? How do you trade in rocks? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get the joke. But then me using the GameStop as a junk removal service. God.
Some people will do this. Some people will legitimately go throw their junk at them and be like, I want money for this.
Yeah, I would not want to be a GameStop employee working on this day. No. And then would this work?
Well,
if
why
it's
do you have that?
If it's a cake, no. But I see lots of cake.
There's more than one type of cake there.
That's true. There's more. And I've been seeing that new SpongeBob movie come out, and Patrick Starr's ass is like everywhere in that trailer and even in the new video game. So now that I look at Plankton, this does look appropriate. For SpongeBob. I mean, I don't know why they're embracing the ass cheeks so much in that world. Me watching SpongeBob SquarePants growing up, I don't remember that much ass. It's SpongeBob. And
I guess it's for the memes.
I guess so. And then me. I got 3 PlayStations and 44 games. GameStop. Best I can do is $10. Yeah.
That probably is what it's going to be like, honestly.
It is. That's how they did me with that with the GameCube. Damn it.
Yep.
What are they going to give me for a Gabe Cube when that drops? And then the last one, the economy is so bad, GameStop's taking relics like, wow, I could trade all these in for $13 at GameStop? I know, the holidays are hard. Please, send us everything. And HenricK, is this GameStop leveling up or just the most chaotic garage sale in gaming history?
Oh, this is 100% a publicity stunt by GameStop. And it's also because they know that they have this reputation of not really giving that much trade-in value to people when they come in with high-value things like you experienced with the GameCube. So maybe this is their way of saying, hey, guys, we still do trade-ins, and, for this one day, we'll take anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't expect to be making a fortune.
No, I'm with you. I think this is an amazing publicity stunt because I think they understand by now how the Gen Zers and even the millennials are going to be acting towards this. I think of you all on the TikTok universe. You guys are some savages out there, okay? And I know some of y'all are going to utilize this opportunity to make some very, very juicy reels and content, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Some of y'all are going to, hopefully, don't bring in bodily fluids. Yeah, you can maybe slip in a dildo and get rejected. I can already see that coming, all right? And they already said, don't do that. Don't bring in hazardous waste, all that kind of stuff. We're not going to rattle it off because it goes on forever. But yeah, clearly they don't want your dead animal or your living animal. They don't want, what else? They don't want you selling them drugs. They don't want you selling them booze. There's some other things that I see here too as well. Jewelry, they do not want. Clearly they don't know the value of gold or copper because you stole it from a cul-de-sac, right? Copper wire, please take my copper wire. I jammed it in this 20 by 20 by 20 box.
Take that to the recycler instead.
Yeah, take that
You'll get money.
And they'll need your driver's license too, just to kind of vet you and see where you got that.
Exactly.
But tell me, gamers. I mean, if you could trade anything for store credit, what are you bringing to GameStop, and what do you hope they're desperate enough to accept? Let us know what's good. But all right, HenricK, the Wreck, you ready to talk about a platform that suddenly wants to know our faces a little too well?
And what platform is that? Well, Roblox of all of them. And
Shocking,
it's
I know.
they're finally making some big changes, which is a good thing maybe, but what it means is kids will no longer be able to chat with random adults. Interesting. How are they doing this? Well, they're adding mandatory age checks for anyone using chat features, rolling out in December, and for a few countries only at first, and then it's going global in January. So it's going to come real quickly.
Yeah, they're
Real
following
quick.
up on the mandatory actions that Australia has implemented, like where kids under the age of 16 years old are banned from having social media.
Yeah, yeah. Which, some people say it's actually a good thing that they have a rule like that in Australia. Maybe there's studies you can look at it and things like that. We'll have to see, honestly, maybe in a few years.
How that
but-
works out. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, this all comes after a wave of criticism and multiple lawsuits claiming the platform wasn't doing nearly enough to protect its young players. And I think after, the things we even covered, I think it's kind of safe to say that's maybe the true
Yeah.
statement.
Well, they got lawsuits happening right here in the United States right now, and we've
Yep,
been calling for more
exactly.
attorney generals to speak up, and I'm shocked that there hasn't been, but yeah, crazy to think.
And considering almost half of Roblox's 80 million daily users are under 13,
Think about that,
yeah, it
guys.
makes sense. It totally
80
makes sense.
million?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's a lot.
Yeah, almost half.
So, gamers, are moves like this enough to make a platform safer? Or is it still just way too easy for someone with some malicious intent to slip through the cracks? What do you think?
Yeah, there probably going to be a few bad actors, I'm sure. But let's dive into the comments and see what the global standpoint is around this. And if you're going to go to this extreme, place like ages in the same server. I don't want to join a server as an adult with a quiet group of kids playing my game who can't chat to me. That's the goal. With custom matchmaking, those players in a server will be in the same age group and have the ability to chat with each other. But you're utilizing an AI age verification tool, collecting young kids to then prove, hey, you actually can play our game without having a rapey and weird games. Like, remember we covered earlier in the year, like all the Diddy games that were coming out that your young kids were being exposed to, and they're like, see,
And
we're getting on top
granted,
of this.
they cleaned up the majority of them right after those news reports came out. But the fact that they were there in the first place is not
In the first place. Yeah, that's what's so crazy about it. And then it'll be dog shit like the one they use for Discord, I bet. And
Dude,
it's
this
funny
is entirely what I thought of. Like, people are just going to use other people's faces or, find some way to bypass it.
Well,
kids are creative.
They were using Gary's mod. And they were literally moving around an avatar. So they better have the best AI or, Microsoft is definitely going to start to get clowned over this for sure, because everybody's trying to lead that charge, and the whole AI push. It's like Gemini and all the other ones. It's like a cycle repeats itself kind of a thing. It's like, we got the next best thing. We got the next best thing. I'm like, how many times have we heard this over and over and over again? And
it's always the next best thing.
Yeah, and then data breach in 5, 4, and that is kind of wild because you think about it. I mean, it is insane to think that just in the U.S. alone, right, where we are at, Roblox is facing lawsuits in Texas, Kentucky, and Louisiana over child safety concerns, and Roblox says it will become the first large gaming platform to make facial age verification a requirement for accessing the chat features. And I've said this numerous times on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. I feel like every game that has a chat feature in it automatically should be labeled a teen game. Bar none.
Yeah.
Not rated E plus 10, not rated E for everyone. It has to automatically be a teen game. And I know that puts Roblox in a very tough predicament because nearly half of their player base is under the age of 13. And that's why it's troublesome. You can't have the sandbox experience and and allow that to happen. And I know they're trying to win over people with the trusted connection feature, right, HenricK? Where they're going, hey, you could, link up with a parent or a cousin or an uncle or, nephew that that's older than you and then get that approved. But again, like, to have to go through these loopholes just to be able to open up the chat feature makes me wonder, eventually, will this come to more mature games? You have to wait and
Most
find out.
likely. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. And then can we all agree that this wouldn't have happened if Roblox actually moderated user uploaded content and everything that has to do with it the proper way instead of just letting an AI do this? Which is very fair. I mean, they are making this big push with the age verification tool as the AI buddy here, but AI clearly couldn't pick up on some of those weird thumbnails and those really creepy, perverted appeal to some of these sandbox games that people were making. Like, I don't even know why they even embraced that in the first place. But then again, they had IKEA. They wanted to create a dating universe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of questionable things that they do.
Weird ideas out there in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I don't like any adult that's like 25 and up, and I hear you playing Roblox. I question your choice in life. And then, yes, collecting and scanning kids' faces. This is totally reasonable and logical. Kidding. Why don't you just make your platform 18 plus? Because there's no reason for peer-to-peer communication for kids. Kids will always have means of talking to their friends curated by their parents. There's zero reason they need to talk on Roblox at all. I'm kind of with that. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't...
honestly, it would make sense if they did this, change to make it where if you're not 18, you just straight up cannot talk to people. Because, yeah, like the comment says, there's going to be other ways for people to communicate with their friends outside
Give them
of
an
the game.
emote circle wheel. Follow, team. You know what I mean? Like, they do not need to have a chat feature. They do not, and I'm totally with it. But that's the sad part, though, HenricK. It's like, how do they make that happen? Well, they have to have this AI age verification to figure out who the young adolescents are and who's not, and then that's what makes you kind of wonder. Like, I was reading a report the other day, this week actually, that porn websites, for example, when they have those age verifications, don't actually stop young kids from getting into their website. It's the same joke with Steam and Valve. Like, like the minute you jump on to watch a trailer, let's say Black Ops 7, why is it always set to 1977? You know what I mean? All I have to do is hit verify, and then it lets you in. Kids are going to find ways to manipulate this and get in the games either way. Yeah. And that's kind of the wild part. And then you get this last comment. Well, can we get an update on Roblox reasoning on why they find it necessary to push minor victims into confidential operation? Like, doing this, hides these dangers from the public and silences victims from speaking out who find it vital as a part of their healing. And I agree. And, you've had a lot of, people, building up their case around Roblox and how, you can fall Shaleb, right? That's how you say his name.
Shaleb, yeah.
Yeah, Shaleb. And
who
all over
finally was asked to come back, even though he was banned. They finally asked him to come back pretty recently.
But, like, his whole YouTube channel right now is literally exposing pedophiles all over Roblox. And sure, Roblox was like, okay, please just come back so you could just shut up already. But really, he's like, thank you for bringing me back so I can find all these bad parasites and take them out from existence. But yeah, it's a really messy situation. And HenricK, is Roblox finally getting ahead of the problem or just patching a ship that's already taken on water?
Yeah, it's one of those really tricky things because, like, on one end they need to do something because clearly they have a problem, but at the other end, is this really the solution? Like, there's a lot of downsides to the facial recognition system being your solution. Like a lot of these comments are saying, data breaches, that's a concern now. You're collecting all of these facial scans of kids. What if those get out? Yeah. And honestly, I would expect them to eventually get out. unfortunately, that's just the age we live in where data breaches happen.
Yeah.
Also, kids are very creative. You know, having been one myself at one
Right.
point, I know how to get past certain things, and I know that kids will figure it out. They'll figure
Yeah.
out one way, whether it means that they, do something like that meme said, like let's take Kiryu from the Yakuza series and put his face, and somehow it passes. They're gonna find things like that
Yeah.
and then pass it on and on and on. And now everyone is in, even though they're not actually verified technically.
Yeah, it's sad to think that this is where we're going when it comes to regulating the space that is called video games. And yeah, it's a real thing as we always move forward to the online world, and not enough single player games for the kiddos, I suppose, and parents just
I guess
feel the
not.
need to have to throw them into the Roblox universe. But let me ask you this, gamers. This is a real question here. I mean, if Roblox is rolling out facial scans just to access chat, how long before more mature games start demanding the same thing? And would gamers actually go for it? Let us know what's good. But man, this has been such a fantastic show of Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. And we can't thank you, the gamers, for always tuning in live, whether that is YouTube, Meta, and Twitch. And we just want to do one last shout out of our QR codes. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show.
And you see this glorious, glorious QR code. Yeah, that's mine. So go to my YouTube channel, leave me some comments, and stay tuned for more content on the way.
That's right. And we do want to let all the gamers know we will be off for the Thanksgiving break, and we will see you in a couple weeks from now. So have a fantastic time with your family and friends.
Eat some good food if you can,
Yeah, cherish
time
the
of the year to
moment.
do
I mean,
so.
it's always the best time of year when you get together with your loved ones, not just in a game lobby, but in person. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
But also
So,
remember to take some time to play some games.
yeah, that's right. That too. So you just make sure that you eat it, gobble up, and then get back into the gaming chair. But for now, we will see you later, fam. Peace.
See ya.